Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see very important articles that appear in our today's Hindi newspaper, guys. So let's get started. First of all, let us see the important topics of the day. Your first topic, it is about one image that I found in our today's Hindi newspaper. It is about migratory birds. They are visiting this Pobitiora Wildlife Sanctuary. And here in this article, you have to see about different flyways which mainly used by this migratory birds. Normally during summer season and winter season, we can say these birds will be migrating from one area to another area, and they'll be using particular patterns. So here you have to see what are those particular flyways which are mainly used by this migratory birds across the world. And this topic is very important from your environment and ecology. And even we have to see that from your geography point of view as well from GS paper 1. And next topic, it is about Maharashtra woman marries cops. After kin kill man, she loved over caste differences. So actually what happened here is because of this intercaste related love, girl's family killed boy, and that girl, she married that dead body, guys. And this type of articles is very important from your anthropology point of view. In anthropology, in paper 1, in 2.3 we have marriage. In that marriage chapter, they will be asking about the definition or universality of marriage. So in that you can add this article, guys. And next topic is population in Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep set to rise, says report. So this article is saying about there is increased population in two important islands of our country, that is Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Lakshadweep. So here you have to see about what are the reasons that led to increasing of population and what is the impact of rise of population in that region. And this topic is important from GS paper 1, where you will be studying about this population demography in your human geography. Apart from that, this article is also very important from your environment and ecology and as well as society point of view, guys. And let us see the next article. Title says new finds highlight Great Nicobar project cites biodiversity. So there is a recent report which had been released, and this report talks about increasing of biodiversity in this Nicobar region. And you all know that we are going to come up with this Great Nicobar project in this Nicobar Islands, and how that project is going to affect this biodiversity in that region. That is about this article. And this topic is important from environment and ecology, and even this topic is important from GS paper 1 under geography as well, guys. And next topic is AIDS TB fight. Tamil Nadu shows the way again. So this article is talking about one case study of Tamil Nadu. Actually, in India, first AIDS case was found in this Tamil Nadu, and from that time onwards, Tamil Nadu took a lot of steps to control AIDS in our country. And now we can take this Tamil Nadu as a case study how to fight against this AIDS and as well as TB, guys. And December 1st, every year we'll celebrate as AIDS Day. So because of this, there are many articles related to AIDS in our current affairs today, guys. So here you have to see about some basic facts regarding this AIDS. What is the full form of HIV? What is the full form of AIDS? And you have to see which organism is causing this disease and what is the impact and what are the different routes of transmission of this virus. Everything that is very, very important, guys. And next article, it is about steady rise in electricity related fatality rates in India. Because of this electric shocks, there is increasing of deaths in our country, and it is one of the major reason. If you see this India map, you can see some states like Kerala, and here we have Karnataka, and even we have West Bengal region. So these areas which are having very high rates of deaths because of this electricity. So here you have to see about what are the causes, what is the impact, and what can be done in the future to reduce this kind of deaths. And this topic is important from your health, from GS paper 2 point of view, and even from society from GS paper 1 point of view, guys. Now let us see articles in detail, guys. Okay, first let us see this image. So in this image you can see one major animal, that is one-horned rhinoceros. And already we discussed about one-horned rhinoceros, and even we discussed about this Povitora Wildlife Sanctuary, I think around 1 week ago, right? And again the same image that is appearing in this newspaper, but this image which is highlighting about these birds here. So those are the migratory birds. Now they are reaching this Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary, guys. Okay, now let us see about this article. First of all, let us see about what is this Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary, in which state it is located, some facts. And later on, we are going to see about this flyways. And next, you have to think one more thing, guys. Whenever any region which is attracting this migratory birds, what is the advantage of attracting this migratory birds? That is very important area that you have to remember. Okay, if you say this facts regarding this Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary, it is located in which state? It is located in Assam region, and it is very much near to Mayong village, and this village is well known for black magic. It is also called as black magic capital in India. And next one here is, this wildlife sanctuary was established near 1998, and it mainly contains Raja Manong Forest, Reserve Forest, and as well as Pobitora Reserve Forest. And this region is once part of vast floodplains of Brahmaputra river, and because of this river which is flowing in this region, it is very much rich in flora and as well as fauna, guys. And if you see history here, it became a reserved wooded area in year 1971, and even you have to remember that this area is very important for conservation of rhino. It is a part of Indian Rhino Vision 2020. Okay, now let us see about this flyways. As you all know that, if you see about solar system, we have sun here, and around this sun in an elliptical orbit, our earth will be moving, right? And our earth which has inclination of 22.5 degrees. So because of this, what happened? There is no equal sunlight will be received by our earth in all seasons, right? So whenever here we have earth, then what happened? In this location, two hemispheres will be receiving equal amount of heat. That position is called as equinox position. This position is called as equinox. But if earth is located here and earth is located in that position, what happened? Here in this area, sometimes northern hemisphere will be receiving more amount of heat, and here southern hemisphere will be receiving more amount of heat because of this inclination. So because of this, we'll call that two positions as summer solstice and winter solstice. And what happened here? If here in this position and in this position, if one hemisphere is receiving more amount of heat, that means one hemisphere will be having summer and another hemisphere will be having winter. So because of this summer season or winter season, certain birds will not tolerate high amount of heatness or high amount of coldness. So because of this, what happened? They will move from one region to another region. That birds are called as migratory birds. Some migratory birds will be shifting from winter season. Some migratory birds will move in summer season. For example, let us take our earth. This region is called as equator, and here to here 30 degrees north and 30 degrees to south. So this region is called as tropical region, right? And above this tropical region, from 30 degrees to 60 degrees north or 30 degrees south to 60 degrees south, they are called as which regions? Temperate regions. And above we have polar regions, right? In which region we have more amount of cold? Normally in this polar region we have extreme coldness, and here also we have extreme coldness. And where we have more heat is seen in this tropical regions, right? Normally in summer season in India, for example, let us take India is in northern hemisphere, right? If India is in summer season, that means northern hemisphere, if it is in summer season, we have intensive heat. So if in that heat, if that birds cannot tolerate, what happens? These birds will move towards temperate region so that they can maintain their body temperature. So such kind of birds are called as summer migrated birds. Okay, normally in summer season in this tropical region, because of high temperature, the birds cannot withstand here and they will move towards temperate regions. so that they can maintain this body temperature. And what happened in the similar way, normally in this temperate region, during this winter season, there will be extreme coldness. So here the birds cannot tolerate that much cold. Now they will move towards this tropical region, guys. So this kind of movement of birds during winter season is called as winter migratory birds. If you see what is the date today? Date today is 1st December. That means nothing but winter season. So what happens here? The birds in this temperate region, they cannot withstand high cold. Now they are moving towards where? Tropical region. So because of this, now Pobitora Wildlife Sanctuary is attracting migratory birds. And which kind of migratory birds they are? Winter migratory birds. Okay, and whenever the movement of the birds are happening across the world, they will follow definite path. They will be moving only in that path. So across the world we have 8 flyways. Okay, so in this way you have to remember how many flyways are there, and in this 8 flyways India will attract birds through which flyways. Okay, already UPSC asked question regarding that case. Okay, and one more thing is, yesterday UPSC APFO exam is done, and I am continuously telling in your current affairs analysis that this year judiciary will be very, very important. So maximum questions from this polity, they came from judiciary only, guys. So in that way, you have to identify which questions will appear in examination. If you are having good grip on current affairs, you can expect at least 15 to 20 topics from where UPSC can ask questions. If you are having that grip, it is enough to clear. Especially you will be getting out of your margin, case. Okay, now let us see the flyways. Flyways can be described as the aerial routes that birds follow during their migration. These pathways are very crucial for the large population of different species as they traverse extensive geographical areas, often covering thousands of miles. That means from continents to continents they will move. And whenever they are moving, not a single bird will move. The flock of birds will move. That means a group of birds, they will move. So because of this, they will follow a definite path, and that definite path is called as flyways. And if you say across the world, as I said, we have 8 important recognized flyways. And in that 8 flyways, 3 of them, they crosses 57 countries and territories across this Asia Pacific region. And from 3 flyways, India will attract different migratory birds during different seasons. That is, during summer season will attract, and even during winter season will attract birds from 3 important flyways. I will tell you which are those flyways. So first flyway through which we can attract and birds here is Central Asian flyway. Second one is East Asian Australasian flyway. Next one is Asian East African flyway. And now let us see those flyways on the globe. So can you see the image here? And can you see the different colors? Okay, the first one here is we have Pacific Americas flyway. And here we have Mississippi Americas flyway. And next one is Atlantic Americas flyway. So through this American region, we will not attract much birds into India, guys. And this one is here we have East Atlantic Highway. So here we have Atlantic Ocean, right? So this is the east part of Atlantic Ocean. We have East Atlantic Flyway. And we have here Black Mediterranean Sea Highway. And this one is East Africa, West Africa Flyway. Central Asian Flyway, it is mainly going from India itself. And towards right we have East Asian Australasian Flyway. So from this East Africa, West Africa Flyway, this is one. And next one is Central Asian Flyway. And through these 3 flyways, India will be attracting this birds, guys. Okay, now you guys tell me what are the advantages of attracting birds? We are attracting lots of migratory birds. Migratory birds in India. So why we will attract migratory birds? Where we can see this migratory birds? Normally lakes, normally ponds. That means wherever the water bodies which we have, to that areas they will attract this migratory birds. Why they will stop in that regions? For example, what is the reason why we will attract migratory birds? The first reason here is during their breeding season. for laying of eggs they will come, breeding season. And next one is they need to get this food and water availability. So these are the main reasons why we attract certain birds in certain regions. For example, have you heard about this Pulicat Lake, Kolleru Lake, and even Chilika Lake, and even Vembanan Lake, and in northeastern part Loktak Lake, Pobitara Wildlife Sanctuary. So here these are the areas where we attract more number of migratory birds, guys. So if you're attracting more by migratory birds, what can we understand? So if you're attracting more birds means we can understand that we are maintaining good environment in that region. If environment is good and if that area is providing proper facilities for these birds, then only they will stay in that region, or else they will not stay. That means we can understand about how we are maintaining our environment. That means they're also acting as bio indicators of our environment. First important thing. And next one is if you're attracting more migratory birds in that area, can we improve tourism, ecotourism? Yes, it is very important for our tourism sector. And next one here is if you are attracting money through this tourism, obviously we can focus on sustainable development in that area, right? So in this way, this migratory birds will provide economy, and even it will be helpful for saving of our environment and ecology, guys. Okay, now let us see the next article. Look at the title. Maharashtra woman marries corpse after kin kill man she loved over caste differences. Here this article you can use directly as a case study or example in your anthropology case. In anthropology in 2.3, in paper 1, we have this universality of marriage. So there you can add this example. So nowadays the trend is going on, even women are marrying the dead body. Okay, so that there is no universal definition of marriage. Okay, there you can add this article as just one example, guys. And next topic is population in Andaman and Nicobar, Lakshadweep set to rise, says report. Okay, now let us see the location of that Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep. So here we have Bay of Bengal, here we have Arabian Sea, and here we have group of islands. So this group of islands is called as Lakshadweep, and here we have Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and these two are major islands of our country. In which subject you will be studying about islands? In GS paper 1 geography you will be studying about islands, right? In your Indian geography you will be studying about physiographic divisions of our country. Yes, in that physiographic divisions you will be studying about Himalayas, Indo-Gangetic plains, plateaus, east coast and west coast, and next one is our islands and even deserts. All these are 6 important physiographic divisions of India. So there you will be studying about this Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep, guys. So now tell me, guys, this article is saying that there is increased population. There is increasing of population in this Andaman and Nicobar Islands and as well as Lakshadweep. I think you might have studied about this population in your society also. In your society also there is one chapter, population related issues. Now you guys tell me why. What are the reasons that led to the increasing of population in this Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar? Just guess. Audience students, tell me in the comment box. What might be the reason that led to increasing of population? Just think, just guess. When population rise happens, when will be the rising of population happens in any region? Okay, lack of family planning. Okay, next. Only lack of family planning leads to increasing of population or any other reasons? If we compare rural areas and urban areas, in which areas we have more population? Urban areas. That means development also leads to migration of people, that leads to increasing of population. Next, other things. Come on, think in that way. Development, lack of family planning. Next, whether poor people will be having more TFR or like rich people. Poor people, even poverty leads to increasing of population rise. Next, come on, think. So here the thing that you have to do is open your atlas after this class, and you have to see which channels are dividing Andaman and Nicobar, India and Lakshadweep. So like that you have to see 10-degree channel, 9-degree channel and 8-degree channel. UPSC have the tendency to ask question regarding that case. Okay, now let us see this article exactly. Recently one report had been released and the title of this report is Unraveling India's Demographic Future, Population Projections for States and Union Territories 2021 to 2051. And this report released by International Institute of Migration and Development and Population Foundation of India. So Population Foundation of India and IIMAD came up with this report, and this report said about the population from 2021 to 2051. Actually, it is a comprehensive national level study which provides projections for India's population dynamics across our Indian states and as well as union territories. It is about future projections of population. And this data they collected according to this 2011 census, and even they used the sample surveys of National Family Health Surveys. For example, National Family Health Survey 4, Health Survey 5. Based on that, they took this as reference and they came up with the projections. And this report which highlights the trend in fertility levels. That is nothing but trend in TFR. What is TFR? Total fertility rate. What is total fertility rate? A woman in her reproductive age, how many number of children she can give birth. And this is direct question 2024 prelims case. And this one is, they also took this mortality trends. What is mortality? The number of people die. And this one is migration, people moving from one area to another area. And urbanization. Urbanization is nothing but development of urban areas or cities. Based on all these trends, they came up with this report, guys. And now let us see the report's highlights regarding Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So in Lakshadweep, how many clusters we have? Around 36 coral atolls. I think you might have studied about this corals in your environment and ecology and as well as geography. And how many types of corals we have? Coral reefs. We have 3 types of coral reefs. What are they? Come on, 3 types of corals. So first of all, tell me what are these corals? Corals are micropolyp organisms which are present in this water, and they give shelter for what? Zooxanthellae. Zooxanthellae is small algae. What it will do? It will capture sunlight and it will produce food. And that food is given to these corals. And what happens? Corals will provide in return shelter to the zooxanthellae. And if you want to develop these corals, we need to have certain suitable conditions, like the temperature should be around 27 degrees centigrade. And the water should be very clean. There should not be any pollution or any turbidity. And we have to maintain proper carbon dioxide levels in the water. Okay. So like that, based on certain geographical conditions, these corals will develop. And normally we have 3 types of corals, guys. First one is fringing reef. For example, if you have any island there, attaching to this island in this coast, if you are having this corals, it is called as fringing reef. First one. And second one here is we have island, and here we are having certain space here. They are not immediately formed to the coast of this island. These are called as barrier reef. The best example of this barrier reef is Australian Great Barrier Reef. If you see this map of Australia, here you can see like this Great Barrier Reef in your map. That means from this coast, it is forming certain water here. And after that, we have this great barriers which had been formed. So these are called as barrier reef. And next type here is atoll. Atoll is nothing but, for example, around this island, initially this corals will be forming around it. But what happens slowly, this island will be submerged in the water. And only we can see the round shape of these atolls which are formed. That is called as atoll, guys. So whenever this coral reefs which are formed in this round shape, after the submergence of this island underwater, only this coral reef will be appear in the round shape, that are called as atolls. And mostly in this Lakshadweep, we can see this coral atolls, guys. Okay, so here Lakshadweep, it is having like a cluster of 36 coral atolls in Arabian Sea. And in this location, in this Lakshadweep, we can see majority of Muslim population, around 96%. Along with that, we can see Malayalis and Keralite influences which are seen in this region, guys. And now here in this Lakshadweep, there is increasing of growth of population. Even it is more compared to that of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Why? Because of increasing of gender equality, and this territory remains India's least populous union territory. But even though nowadays we can see there is increased trend of increasing of population in this Lakshadweep. And this one is in this Andaman and Nicobar Islands. It is a chain of 572 islands in our Bay of Bengal. And in this region, we have a diverse ethnic groups. And we can see lots of indigenous population, like we have Sentinelese, we have Jarawas, we have Andamanis, we have Shompen, Nicobaris, etc. Right? And here we can see in 2025, one report says that around 4 lakh people they are living in this region. And especially now we are going for development of urban areas in this Port Blair. What is a Port Blair? It is a capital city of Andaman and Nicobar Island. Because of that also there is increasing of migration to this region, guys. So because of this now we can expect more number of population in this Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And why population is setting to rise? First one here is in both these territories, that is in Lakshadweep and as well as in Andaman and Nicobar, there is increased TFR rate. Lakshadweep is at 2.2 now, and Andaman and Nicobar is 1.8 to 2.0 as per National Family Health Survey. There is rising of TFR, guys. And next one here is in Lakshadweep, the culture factors like early marriages. That means marriage is happening at a very low age, so that what happened, woman can use her large reproductive window to give birth to the children. And next one here is, even though there is lower female labor force participation, whenever there is low female force participation, then what happens, women will be not having economic independence, woman is not having proper empowerment. Because of this, do she have her rights to take her own decision on the reproductive rights? No. Because of that, what happens? There is increased birth rate or increased number of children given birth by this woman whenever the area which is having low female force participation. That is also one important reason, guys. And this one is migration as a key driver. Now what is happening? Andaman and Nicobar sees net positive migration. That means the people who are entering into this Andaman and Nicobar region is increasing. So because of this migration, obviously the population in this Andaman and Nicobar region is increasing now, guys. And next one here is Lakshadweep experiences controlled but steady inflows from Kerala for education and healthcare, though restricted by land scarcity. Even there is no proper land availability, land scarcity, but even though there is increasing of influx of population in this, Lakshadweep is happening now. And next one here is there is declining of mortality and health improvements are happening. So no, even in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, even in Lakshadweep also, government is focusing on increasing of healthcare facilities. So whenever we are getting proper healthcare facilities, what happens? Obviously, life expectancy can be increased. What happens whenever there is increased life expectancy? We will be having more lifespan. Obviously, that will lead to increasing of elderly population as well. That is also one important reason, guys. And next one is during this COVID-19 onwards, we are focusing on improved vaccination. In our country, we came up with this mission called as Mission Indradhanush. And that mission, what we are providing? We are providing free vaccination for the children who are below 5 years of age, and we are covering more than 23 vaccination against vaccine preventable diseases. So because of this, what is happening? There is declining of IMR and under 5 child deaths or mortality. Obviously, that will lead to increasing of population rise, guys. And not only that, government came up with lots of policies and even economic factors in this Andaman and Nicobar region that led to increasing of population. For example, ecotourism, for example, fishery subsidies, like that. And even tourism. All these are the reasons which are contributing increasing of population in this Andaman and Nicobar region. Clear? And now let us see the next article. Title says, New Finds Highlight Great Nicobar Project Cites Biodiversity. Okay, so this article is saying that recently in 2025, we found new species of animals in this Nicobar region. But what we are doing? We are going for Great Nicobar project. So this article is saying that there is increasing of biodiversity in this region. On the other side, government wants to build infrastructure projects, so it will be having in turn negative impact on biodiversity. So this article is that, guys. Now let us see which are the new species which we find in this Nicobar now in this 2025. Recent scientific discoveries in November 2025 has spotted that extraordinary biodiversity of Great Nicobar Island, and there were certain new species of snake. Till now only we identified 4 species of snake, but now we added new species of snake for this biodiversity of this Great Nicobar. And not only that, they find like good number of bird species and even two new species of frogs, 4 crab species, 2 gecko, and they find lots of new varieties of insects including flies, moths, beetles, and these were found in just 2025 alone, guys. Because of this now there are lots of questions are rising regarding this Great Nicobar project once again. Will be having any impact on this biodiversity or not? Okay, if you see the impacts of this finds on this Great Nicobar project, whenever we are going for this establishment of project, what we are going to construct under that Great Nicobar project? First one is transshipment port, second one is airport, and third one is infrastructure development, and even one power plant to provide power for that all those development activities, right? So we are going for this development of 4 things. Okay, whenever we are going for development of this ports, then what happens? Ships will come and move, and what happens? It will be disturbing this coastal area. And as you all know that Andaman Nicobar Island, it is an island area. It is surrounded by water completely. Whenever we are going for development of a port, what happen? Movement of the big container ship, cargo ships will happen. Obviously, they will create certain sound, and sometimes what happen? Will release some pollution there. Pollution will be caused in that water. Obviously, it will be having impact. And we are going for construction of airways. Airways means what happens? As you all know that if aeroplane is flying nearby, we can see lots of sound. So whenever this kind of sound which is created in that area, obviously it will be affecting this animals, birds, everything. And this one is we are going for development of infrastructure there, like hotels, development, roads, everything. Obviously that will lead to increased movement of humans, and we humans well known for waste generation. Obviously it will cause different types of pollution. So because of all these things, this article is saying that it may create habitat destruction, and if you want to construct anything, we have to cut down the forest which is present there. And this Andaman and Nicobar is very famous for tropical evergreen forest, right? So we have to go for clearing of around 130 square kilometers primary rainforest, and it will releases 4.3 million carbon dioxide into atmosphere. And next one here is we have one important place called as Galathea Bay. If you want to go for development of ports, then what happened? We have to go for example, let us take this is the coastal area, and here we have water. So if we have coast like this, what happens if we want to bring this big ship here? Can it possible? No. What we have to do? We have to go for removing of this coast here like this, so that what happened? Now these big ships will come to this coast. So this process of removing of this is called as dredging. Now because of this construction of this transshipment port, we have to go for dredging in this Galathea Bay. And this Galathea Bay is very famous for one animal species called as leatherback turtles. Now these turtles are going to be get affected because of this dredging of this Galathea Bay, guys. And this one here is we have to go for killing of lots of corals, lots of fish nurseries here in this region. And next one here is it mainly endangers 10 plus IUCN threatened species like Nicobar megaport, and even critically endangered leatherback turtles and nesting sites. All those are going to be lost here. Because of this, there is a very huge threat to this biodiversity. And next one here is whenever you are constructing anything, what happens? We have to go for digging there and dredging there, everything that will leads to acidification of waters which are present in that region. And even you know that Andaman and Nicobars are nothing but extension of our Himalayas. because of this plate movements. That means even today also we have one active volcano in this Nicobar, that is called as Barren Island region, guys. That means this region is even today which is seismically or which is like unstable region. If you are going for this development in these regions, obviously it will be having threat not only for environment but even the whatever the investment that we are doing there, that may be lost. And next one here is we are also going to have lots of social and cultural impacts, because we have to go for completely replacement of two tribal groups. First one is Shompen and second one is Nicobaris. So because of this, those people are going to lose their livelihood. They may lose their hunting grounds, they may lose their horticulture areas, etc. And next one here is population surge. Whenever we are going for development, will we stay calmly in our areas? No, we want to move to another area so that we can venture what is happening, how development is happening in other areas. So if you're going for developmental activities, that will lead to increasing of tourism, and as well as it will be attracting around 8,000 to 1 lakh residents in this new region now. So because of this, it will strain resources, it will lead to dilution of traditions in that location, guys. And next one is we are going to have certain positive impacts also. What are the positive impacts? When we are going for development of ports there, we can go for increasing of the trade. We can go for more imports and more exports. That is the one advantage. And next one here is it will be contributing to our GDP finally. Okay, so all these things are there that you have to remember, guys. And now let us see the next article. Title says AIDS and TB fight. Tamil Nadu shows the way again. This is one case study of Tamil Nadu. Okay, what is AIDS? What is the full form of AIDS? Case anyone? Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is caused by AIDS is a disease which is caused by HIV. HIV, what is the full form? Human immunovirus. So actually virus after entering into human body, it will affect immune system, and that will leads to this AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. What exactly happens is after this virus entering into your body, so which of your body parts acts as the immune system or defense system? We have white blood cells, they are called as leukocytes. And not only that, even lymph which is present in your body will be act as defense system. So this virus will be affecting your white blood cells and as well as your T cells and as well as your lymph. So because of this, what happened? You will be completely becoming like immunocompromised. That means your immunity will be like very, very weak. If your immunity is very weak, if there is any small organism which is entering into your body, then what happened? That will become a big disease in you. So that is called as AIDS, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, now tell me guys how this HIV virus enters into human body. What are the different routes of transmission of this? First one is sexual route. Second one is if you are coming in contact with the liquids of the body like blood or semen or like lymph or whatever it may be, that virus will be present in that liquid. And next one here is if mother is having HIV, what happens? She can transmit that HIV to the baby. And other route here is if you are using the same syringe for giving medicine or injections, then what happens? It will also spread this HIV virus. And not only that, even blood transfusions. Normally, if you are in emergency, we will take blood from others. If you are not checking that that person is having HIV or not, but in some cases, if it is very emergency, if you're directly transfusing the blood from one person to another person without checking for HIV, then that will also leads to this transmission. Not only that, normally if you're going for surgeries, in that surgery also, what are the surgical equipments that we are using? If you're not properly sterilizing them and if you're using for another patient, then obviously that will also one important route of transmission of this HIV from one person to another person. Okay, now let us see here. Is there any medicine for this HIV? We have antiretroviral virus medicines, but even though it is not that much efficient, guys, because we are already using medicines to kill this HIV virus in our body, but on another side, already our immune system had been compromised. So you may, if you completely eliminated this virus in your body also, but because of this compromised immune system, you can't survive. So because of this, we can say like there is no complete cure for this AIDS. So what is the thing here? What we have to do is we have to go for prevention. Prevention is better than cure. So for that, government is taking lots of steps to prevent this HIV transmission in our country. And here for the first time, this AIDS case was found in this Tamil Nadu region, and now Tamil Nadu government become alert, and till today it become a case study. It become an area where we can learn how to fight against this TB from this Tamil Nadu case. And today is December 1st, we are celebrating AIDS Day. So because of this, you will be getting this kind of articles in almost all newspapers regarding AIDS. Okay, so here you have to know about basics regarding this HIV virus. Okay, on this you may get question. Yes. Yeah, if they're not taking proper steps, then they will be getting that. So for that, we will be using antiretroviral things, guys. Okay, now let us see the next article. What did I do? Something happened. Okay, see this article, guys. Let us see what are the steps taken by this Tamil Nadu government to control this AIDS. And you have to make a note here because you may get even case studies that you are a district collector and in your area there is increased recorded cases of AIDS. What are the steps that you are going to take? So like that you may get case studies, because if there is any state which is stood as any learner, or what we have to learn from that kind of things, so you may get case studies for sure from your ethics. You have to be careful. Okay, now let us see here details. Tamil Nadu detected India's first HIV case in Chennai in year 1986. In 1986, the first case of this AIDS had been recorded in this Tamil Nadu region. And by mid 1990s, there is increased cases of this AIDS in Tamil Nadu. At that time, they started one society called as Tamil Nadu State AIDS Control Society. And it is India's first such kind of society which had been registered, and it mainly focusing on improving of campaigns, improving of awareness about AIDS to the people, guys. And the first important thing here is establishment of that society, and this society came up with direct funding for implementation of campaigning and training for the people at the ground level. And second one is regarding tuberculosis, that is TB. We have National TB Elimination Program, and under that they established around 461 TB units, and they came up with 1951 microscopy center. Microscopy is nothing but lab centers, and they started identifying this drug resistance TB. And even they came up with appointment of district TB officers to oversee the operations, what operations they are doing. And this one is even they came up with this encouragement of private sector, because government alone cannot do anything. So they started encouraging these private sectors, and they came up with these 4 private colleges, and they started providing free sexually transmitted disease or HIV treatment. And they came up with improved awareness, improved prevention testing, and they targeted people through this NGOs, and they came up with this implementation at the ground level, and they came up with this universal screening and even TB screening. For TB screenings, we need rapid test kits. So the government came up with this rapid test kits and even mobile diagnostic units, and even they increased this chest x-rays. Whenever we are doing this x-rays, we can understand how far the lung had been affected. And next one here is they came up with door health service schemes also. Door to door they came, and they used to ask like how many family members are having this TB and what medicines they are using, whether they are using regularly or not, which kind of symptoms. They even did this doorstep health service also. And this one is they came up with this free antiretrovirals. Antiretrovirals are the drugs which are mainly used for controlling of this HIV, and even government started providing free drugs to the people. And next one here is regarding this nutrition, especially AIDS and even the TB also. We need to take proper nutrition so that we can maintain immunity. So for that, government came up with this Nikshay Poshan Yojana for nutrition, and even in that Poshan Abhiyan, so they focused on even providing subsidies and even providing some financial benefits not only for this TB patients, for even HIV patients. And this one is they came up with this increasing of health volunteers, and they trained around 1,000 plus women volunteers in Tamil for TB HIV outreach. So that what happens, we can remove the stigma in the rural areas. And next one here is they came up with the campaigns, especially they focused on transgender welfare board also for inclusive care. And because of all these things, they ensured 85% of continuity, and even they are going for virtual training of these volunteers to modernize the training system now also. So because of all these things, there is reduced cases of TB and as well as HIV in this Tamil Nadu region. We can take this as a case study and we can learn how we can fight hard if you are having this kind of diseases, guys. Okay, now let us see the next article. Title says steady rise in electricity related fatality rates in India. Okay, here in this article, you have to see the data point only, guys. So electricity related accidents killed over 18,000 people in India in 2023. The primary reason is lighting and as well as electrical fire. And recently in Hyderabad also, I think 3 months ago, entire family in this whole city had been died because of this electricity or like electric circuit, short circuit, like that kind of incidents. So here now it also became the major challenge for our country to fight against electricity related deaths. Okay, now you can get a case study from this article, guys. You are district collector and in your area there are large number of electricity related deaths are recorded, and you're getting pressure from your higher authorities to take enough steps to control this kind of deaths. So what is your action? What is your course of action? What are the options which are available to you? In that way also UPSC can give you a question, guys. You have to be very much careful. So now you have to see here, first thing is what are the reasons for this electricity deaths, and second you have to see like what steps can be taken, and you have to see what measures taken by the government so far to control this electricity related deaths, especially during this monsoon seasons. What happens, water will be locked in your areas on roads. If there is any electricity pole, if there is any electricity wire had been cut down, I think you might have seen many reels that small children, younger children, or like elder people, or even animals which were succumbed into that electricity shock. So like that you have to see how can you take measures so that we can effectively fight against this deaths of this electricity related case. And I'll be giving you mains question regarding this case today. Try to answer that. So by this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll be providing the prelims questions in our community box, guys, so please do answer there. Thank you so much, and if you really like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy. And you can follow us on our Telegram channel where we are providing notes of this class in PDF format, and even you can follow us on our Instagram page where we are providing current affairs in shorts, mains question with model answer, and as well as prelims question with answer, guys. Don't miss it. Thank you so much.